Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft. Now last time we finished building the tiny ship that was supposed to move. Well, the tiny ship, it's like the medium-sized ship, it's right there. And that I've now dubbed the SS Derp. Because the ship's mod didn't work correctly and it drove aground because it didn't let me actually see it move, so I didn't know I drove it aground. But anyway, there it sits and there it will stay, and that's that. Now this time we are going to set out on building the bigger ship, the more decorative ship, and I've decided to do something. I have decided that, you know very well that I have loads and loads of EMC, and I have loads and loads of these things called nether stars. So you see these right here. I just pulled out a stack of 8 million EMC. That is because that is my payment for doing this. For the sake of quickness and speed, I'm going to build this ship in creative mode. It's not like I can't just go in my ME system and craft all the things I need. It's not that I can't just pull it out of this thing. It's not that I can't just make every single thing I need. It's just the time. And that's what I'm doing here by sacrificing these nether stars that I have and have used and gathered myself. So that is that. So that I will go over here and sacrifice them to the great abyss. Actually, I know a better way to do this. Right, here's where I'm building my thing. This is the building spot. We're going to sacrifice them to the abyss. Oh, that's actually on the block. That's not where I wanted to put them. We'll sacrifice them to the sea, to where we'll build it. And now, instead of boring you with my long, tedious comments, enjoy this first-person time-lapse. You'll see it when it's finished, and I'll go over it. See you then, guys. Okay. Well, that took just under an hour, just to inform you on that. So that is my ship. I think it's really cool. I did look at kind of like several images on Google Images and like pulled like several ideas together and came up with this 3-tiered sailed thing. I don't have a flag on it yet, though. I see. So that's one thing I don't have on it. That one does over there, but this one doesn't. Yeah, red and black kind of matches my house over there. So this is kind of like the big ship that I wanted to build. Now I probably will go on and add some deco-craft stuff and things like that off camera and things like that. But yeah, that's been the ship of awesomeness. I did quite enjoy using the posts and stringing the strings for immersive engineering as decorative bits and bobs of it. I used quartz glass instead of the glowstone glass for the windows. It's not functional, so it doesn't have to actually have anything in these rooms. It's just empty, dead space. You can even get down to the underdeck, which is perfectly fine. There's still some things I might do decorative, so the next time we come back, it might have a little bit more decorative to it. I placed a bits post as well, so let's get those things out of my hand. Apparently that's my hand. But yeah, I really wanted to use the like glass bit of the paper walls, but they didn't connect. These actually connected and they didn't match colors, so I just opted to make them look like they're rolled up. So it's kind of rolled up sails because it's kind of just there. They're just docking, getting ready to dock. They're coasting into it, I guess, to the lovely pier here. Yeah, I quite like this ship. It's quite what I had in mind. I wanted it to be fancy. I wanted it to be kind of, I don't know, a presence in my harbor. And it's there. There's a presence in my harbor now. Instead, I might do some deco-craft stuff on top of it. But, yeah, I think it's quite fancy. Yeah, I love the immersive engineering cables the most of all. Because it actually does make it look like a ship from this angle. If I just pause, it looks like a ship because ships have cords holding the things together and strapped together. Yeah. It was worth it. I love it. So now, that's one thing ticked off my list that makes SS derp look more like a derp. This one was supposed to be functional. That one was not. So yeah, it makes me sad that this one's not functional, but it makes me happy that this one isn't. But let me go over what materials I've used here. I didn't use that many. I don't have paper wall listed here either. I don't have the posts, so let me actually go over here and grab the posts. I do have the post in my inventory. The paper wall then I have. Okay, let me go over the materials that I've used in this particular build here. There you go. These are the materials I used in the particular build. These are what my initial decoration of choice was. My original decorations of choice was birch, which is what the main ship hull is built out of, and the deck. It's slabs on the deck, and the underbelly is birch. The black was hard to build with because it's kind of like just black. Black plastic, pulled from creative, obviously, because I don't really know how to make it, this stuff. I think you had to go through some fancy process. So that's otherwise an alternative. In non-creative, I'd probably use wool as opposed, but this is like cleaner and slicker and pretty. And I used red plastic for the top. Again, I don't know how to make it. I would have used wool in alternative because I used wool on this one. I would use wool in alternative. And coal coke fences. I used for extra utilities. I'm assuming you just craft it with coal. I don't know how to use them exactly, particularly. I don't know. I can't type them in. But I got them for the dark texture, the gray texture, because I want it to be red and black. And the immersive engineering cable connectors, I've used them on my bridge. And I found these, the wall mounts. They're mainly for power cables. These don't, unfortunately, don't connect to these. So I had to use them as just mainly decorative, because I really wanted to string them from these and up to the things, but it doesn't work. So I guess that's kind of like just decorative, like, hey, this is part of it, but it's not part of it. And obviously the cable connector itself to connect the decorative hemp things to each other. I don't have that in my inventory right now, and I don't think I can right click to select it, because it's, yeah, I can't right click select that, but it's the hemp decorative thing. And paper wall for the sails, it's mainly just made with paper. Seriously, that's what it's made with, paper and sticks. Vibrant quartz glass from Applied Logistics. That's what I use for my windows. I didn't want to use the glow glass. I didn't want the gold to be there. Pink slick plastic, again, I used on the back. I wanted some almost like a grayish texture, and the pink was, but also a color as well. So I chose pink. It wasn't too obtuse. And the posts, they actually turn and connect all sorts of ways. That's perfect for the sails. That's why I chose those. I'd used them previously over here on garden fences themselves, so it's kind of a useful thing. And then obviously I used oak logs to kind of create the tops to make the connectors actually connect a little better. I know they're floating on the edge, because if you actually look on the edges here, they're actually floating, but I figured that's a great trade-off because it looks really nice to see the cords there. Yeah, well, that's the materials I use, and obviously just doors and stuff. And I use forged micro blocks walls. Yeah, but yeah, it looks really, really nice, I do believe. I quite enjoyed building this. Unfortunately, that's getting closer to the end of my building whole shebang here. So the harbor is done. I can delete all these things on my dock here, my piers, and we are heading off into the final stretches. That would be, so this is what I used. Hemp coil roll. It's just decorative coil. But I'm heading off at the final stretches of this series. I may do a similar thing with that I did to the ship with the things here. I may also use creative mode for the skyscrapers, because it was just easier to build, because I can delete things a lot easier just by punching them to decorate them, and instead of like using my pick or whatever. But it's not like I don't have the materials, as I said, but it was just a lot easier. So as the sun gets ready to set over my build of my epic little ship here, I quite enjoyed building this, and I think it looks quite nice. It is what I wanted. So I can let it set and as bid to do, and I hope you enjoyed watching me build this lovely thing as I enjoyed building it. And I will see you all next time for me beginning the building of the skyscrapers. Until then, I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.